Hello and welcome to Getter Farms. Today we're going to be showcasing a new mod by Forward Agriculture Solutions. The Forward Ag team is made up of Dan Finley, Jerod Wall, and Joshua Duncan. We can see they've got this awesome new logo showcasing all of their names right here on the side of this tank. This tank is the KC6000 and is a liquid fertilizer tank that has been in development for some time, and Forward Ag is working hard to get this mod out here in the next few days. I know that they've been sending this out to quite a few testers, myself included, and Forward Ag was kind enough to allow me to create this early look video for everybody ahead of its official release. If we jump into the store for just a moment here, we're going to be able to see that this mod has a number of awesome features here. And so it's set up to be either a pull behind or a pull between cart with the hydraulic hoses that run all the way through the cart. We have a number of different color options here with the ability to change everything from the tanks to the toolboxes on the mod here. We can change the hose colors separately for both the fill hose here as well as the pump hose setup. You also have the ability to change the frame color, which would be this main color here. And you've got wheel rim color options. And so this is a really cool setup here. We have several different wheel options between the different sizes of the dual tires on the back, Trelleborg or Michelin's. And then we also have the Forward Ag track setup. These have been coined the Finley track system after Dan Finley. And I absolutely love these tracks. They are using the new 3D track technique and they just look great. We've also got the ability to use the manure system here with this particular mod, which we'll show off here momentarily. And they've also added beacons here to the back so you can have your rear beacons on or off. There are a number of things still in progress on this mod that I'm not going to be able to show off. I know they're working on some updates to the decals. They're also looking at potentially adding more wheel options on the back. I think there's also a plan to add some additional lighting options on this trailer, as well as I know Forward Ag is planning on adding an instructional video for how you would add liquid fertilizer to a drill setup. I'm currently using the edits to the 3 drills that Forward Ag has done. He's edited the John Deere, Bourgault, and Seed Hawk drills for anhydrous ammonia. If you recall, I've been showing off another work in progress mod that he's had for some time now on the channel with the anhydrous setup here. And so all 3 of these drills are set up currently to also support the liquid fertilizer setup. But my understanding is that Forward Ag will be releasing a tutorial on how you can add liquid fertilizer to any planter or seeder that you want to run this tank with. And so without further ado, let's jump into showing this mod off. As I mentioned, we do have the manure system set up here. So I've got Perma's Modding's Wilson step deck trailer here alongside us that's full of liquid fertilizer. And so we're going to turn our HUD on to make our lives just a little bit easier. And so the first step is to connect the hose to our step deck trailer. And then we're going to come over here and grab the hose and hook it up to our liquid fertilizer tank here. You'll notice that the handles on the valves here moved as I connect the hose. If I grab this hose again, you can see all the handles close so that you're not leaking fertilizer anywhere. And then as we grab this hose and hook it back up, you can see all the appropriate valves open back up for us. It's these little attention to detail pieces that I really love about the Forward Ag mods. So with that all hooked up, I have the option to either get into the step deck here because it has a motor on it, or I can actually get into my tractor here to run the motor that's actually on the Forward Ag setup. So we're going to do that. And if I bring up the menu here, you can see I've got my manure system option there on the bottom to change the direction of the pump. And so I'm going to go ahead and set this to emptying because I'm emptying what I'm attached to, not my own tank. And then with the tractor on, I'm going to activate the pump and you can see that my liquid fertilizer has started moving over from the step deck into our forward ag tank here. And so if you've used the manure system, you know that the pump speed kind of varies and goes up and down a little bit, and so it takes a little while to pump that much liquid over into a tank, which is very realistic. But one of the things that I really like, if we hop out here and look at these gauges, you can see that these gauges are starting to come up here as we pump more liquid fertilizer into the tanks. And so you've got a visual indicator here of the fill level of these tanks as we continue to pump more and more liquid fertilizer into here. And again, this is just one of those small details that I think really adds a lot to the mod. If we jump over here to this other seeder setup that I have, I've already got this one all filled up and ready to go with material. And so I wanted to show off just a couple of other small features with this. And so the first thing that I'm going to show off, if I can get a good view of the back of this, is that he's implemented flashing lights as you back up. Now, backing up with the drill might be a little bit hard, but as you can see, as I'm backing up here, the lights begin blinking as you're reversing, which I thought was a nice touch. One feature I forgot to show off earlier with the KC6000 here is the front jack. So we have the ability to adjust the height of the jack here using a mouse control, so that when we disconnect the tank from the tractor here, it's going to stay at a more appropriate height, or a height that is set for us. And so as you can see here, you know, this is much more hitch height than if that jack was lowered quite a bit more. But depending on the height of your implement, maybe you want that jack to be a little bit further down here. Just depends on the tractor that you're hooking this thing up to, or maybe you're hooking it up to a pickup or something like that to haul around. And so it's the little touches like this, again, that go a long way with the forward ag mods. Another awesome piece of functionality with this mod, if we turn our lights on, I'm just going to turn on my front lights because I don't want my rear tractor working lights causing me any problems. We've got a pump motor light here, so that if you are really farming, we had a light like this on our liquid trailer so that you could get out here and actually see what you're doing with all of the pumps and handles and such. It's just a really awesome little detail. And if we get back into the tractor and turn our HUD back on for a second, I actually have a mouse command here. If I hold both mouse buttons down, I can rotate that light here. I know it's a little bit hard to see at this angle, but I can move this light out here to the outside part a little bit. It just depends on where you want it. The fact that I can move this light, again, is just one of those awesome little details. And one of the reasons that I picked this tractor to demo this, if I turn my HUD back on, this is the Carl Farms quad track, and if I switch back up to the tractor, using that same command is what opens and closes my door. And so everything is all set up and working fine so that I can switch between the tractor itself, and if I switch back to the trailer, my mouse commands are working on the trailer. Lots of good attention to detail. Everything works great with this mod. I can't wait to see it released. I've just talked to Forward Ag. They are shooting for a release at some point in the next few days. And so if you're as excited about this trailer as I am, head on over to the Forward Ag's Facebook page and check this mod out. It should release in the very near future. And so we're going to go ahead and get this thing all set up here. We'll run over here to the edge of our field and run this seeder down the line here and just show off how awesome it looks here in actual use. So with our seeder all unfolded, we're going to go ahead and put this down and just take a quick run here out in the field. You can see this looks absolutely amazing here. Everything seems to be working great. If we turn our HUD back on, actually, you can see our liquid fertilizer and our wheat are both running down here on this setup. And then if I just bring up the F1 menu here, you can see it's working successfully with the precision farming mod. And bringing up the mini-map maybe is an easier way to see. We're doing a good job of getting our nitrogen put into the soil without any problems whatsoever with this setup. This is going to be the perfect cart for you to run liquid fertilizer with your bigger setups. It holds an absolute ton of liquids here and is going to work out really well with any planter or seeder that's set up for liquid fertilizer. Hopefully you're as excited about this mod as I am. As I mentioned, this is something Forward Ag is looking to get out in the next several days. I will have a link to his Facebook page linked in the description of this video where you can follow along for updates on this mod and head on over there and show him some support. That's all for today. Keterk out.